Hello everyone, welcome to GNU according to CD, that is Government of National Unity. So, on a serious note though, Nigerians, can you please move forward? There's something that I want to tip you about. I am whispering this to you guys. I'm not supposed to tell you, but I am telling you right now. If you feel like you wanna head east, I'm talking Asia, Southeast Asia, all the way down under, like Australia, New Zealand, Cook Islands, and go a little bit up this way on the left, Japan, going all the way to the Philippines, Kuala Lumpur. I mean, all those regions. And then if you also come west, and goes south, starting all the way from the tip of the Americas, like Peru, going all the way up into Central America. And okay, we can skip America because clearly they're a little bit slow. And then you go up into Canada. Listen, I'm whispering this to you. Those countries are on to you, especially if you are carrying a South African passport. How do I know this? Just today alone, because of the videos that I've been posting about how South Africans don't travel, even though we have visa free entry into so many countries in the world, including Thailand. You see, Thailand, let me just give you an example. You see, Thailand has woken up to the realization that, hang on a minute, why is it every time that a person that enters Thailand with a South African passport, upon thorough investigations, it leads back to Nigeria, not South Africa? And now the Thai government at the airports, the moment you land and you are carrying a South African passport, even if you are a South African, you are still gonna get a interrogation of some sort. So that means even I, as a South African citizen, going to Thailand, they are going to look at my passport with a bombastic side eye. But now this is where the secret is. They have South Africans now working at the airports. The moment you say you're a South African can tell from another South African. We can spot each other. And when we do spot each other, we are like needle in a haystack. If one needle sees another needle in the haystack, do you think they're going to ignore each other? No, they're going to jump onto each other. You know why? Because South Africans are a rare species in most parts of the world. Yeah, rare species. So now a South African can tell a Nigerian accent. It doesn't matter which state in Nigeria you come from. A South African can tell a fellow South African, irrespective of where they come from in South Africa. And also, a black South African can tell where a white South African, whether it's a South African or not, and where in South Africa they come from, and vice versa. So now Thailand is also learning, and now it has hired, from what I'm understanding, it has hired South Africans that the moment you open your mouth, they'll say, not South African. Then you are going to be taken to this little toilet. And of course, you're going to be taken. I don't mean like the real toilet, like that other guy, they interrogated him in the toilet, but you are going to be taken in the interrogation room. And there, my friend, no, let me not say my friend because you don't say my friend. And you see, my brother, when you go to that interrogation room, my brother, it is over for you because now that your passport is going to be seized, it's going to be brought back to South Africa. When it comes back to South Africa, it's going to be checked who is this unlucky South African that their identity was stolen by this Nigerian who now used his identity of the South African he stole and flew to Thailand. So that this South African will be aware if they were not aware, or if they were aware that their identity has been stolen, and could not live and progress with their life, then everything is brought back to that South African citizen. But now, from what I also hear, Dubai is about to do the same thing. Hire South Africans. You're not gonna see the South African. All you do is say something, and the South African is listening, and then the South will be like, "Nah, Nigerian, no, we don't know where this person comes from," because South African can tell another South African simply by opening your mouth, and sometimes I can tell with a walk. You know how a South African walk? It's different. White people walk. White South Africans they walk differently from all the other white people in the world. There's something about white South Africans and there's something about black South Africans in our walk that is different from any other walk in the world. The way we carry ourselves, our body language, and the way we do things, you can just tell without too much of a back and forth questioning that this is a fellow South African. So now the world, especially the East, you know what I'm saying? The East, I'm talking your Southeast Asia. Yeah, they are hiring South Africans at their airports. When you produce a South African ID or, I mean, passport, and you are not a South African, it's over for you, my friend. Or my brother. It's over for you, my brother. It's done. You are not going to enter into that country. You're going to remain at the airport. You are going to get arrested for violation of immigration laws, taken to court. And then, of course, the court is going to decide to have you deported. And after having you deported, you are going to be declared an undesired alien. Now, let's come to South Africa now. You see now what's happening in South Africa. You remember in the beginning of this channel, I told you guys that South Africans always get what South Africans want. South Africans looked to their government and say, we want them gone. Start deporting. And what is happening right now? What do you think is happening right now? There are raids, not only raids, like they enter buildings and raids and then sift out foreign nationals. On the road, going to work in the morning, on the road, coming back from work in the afternoon, in the evening. During the day, there are police everywhere. You know what they are doing? They are doing exactly what South Africans want for all of y'all to be gone home. Go fix your countries. Go and fix your country. You learned something while you were here. You saw how South Africans do things. Now take that lesson and go implement it in your respective countries. This is not going to end until South Africans are satisfied that, okay, we feel like our country now is a bit safe. But as long as you all are still here, and uh, I'm hearing some of them are my neighbors. They are saying they are leaving. They are leaving. In my area, there was a warning that was given. I don't know why they're giving warnings because they're not supposed to be giving warnings. This is supposed to happen by surprise. You know, while we're busy sleeping, enjoying our sleep, we hear knocks on the door, and the police, all they want is your identity document. I know that there are going to be those foreign nationals that are going to produce South African IDs. Here's what's interesting that Home Affairs is going to be doing. You know how South Africans' information is biometric now. All you do is just put your fingers on this machine, and the machine is able to tell the official whether this is a South African or it's not a South African. And most people that steal South African people's IDs, they are not biometrically in the system. Yeah, because you bought the ID. You got somebody in the Home Affairs who's corrupt, the traitor, the treasonist to give you that ID without dropping your fingers and rolling them on those black ink. Well, these days it's no longer black ink. It is this machine, biometric machine. And now they're going to be carrying that biometric machine every raid they are going to be doing. The moment you produce your South African ID, you're also going to have to put your fingers on the biometric machine. And if the biometric machine is silent and is still red, it doesn't turn green, goodbye. It's goodbye. And I don't think they'll even give you the time of day to come inside the house, pack your. They're just gonna take you on the spot in your pajamas, straight, and then you'll be taken to court and deported in your pajamas. Can you imagine? I would suggest when you go to sleep at night, no longer go to sleep with your pajamas on. Just have your clothes on. In case, have your shoes on, have your clothes on, and sleep with your valuables. So that if ish hits the fan, you know that, okay, I got this, and I got this on me. But just make sure it's not, nothing has like strings, like lace, whatever, and stuff like that. You just take what is important and go home. Implement what you learned in South Africa from South Africans out of how government should be run, how the government should serve its people. Because South Africans are not yet, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And now, because we are doing this, we are blocking as well because we know those that are getting deported in the UK, that are getting deported in Canada, those are getting deported, what do you call this, in India, Australia. They are thinking, plan B, South Africa. When they come here, right at the airport, you'll be like, oh, whoa, 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 no, no, please go back. It's go back home. So we are not done yet. And you know what we love about what is happening right now? All the political parties that are in charge of our cities, they want our votes. Not so long to come. And we are saying, if you want my vote, you better vote for deportation. They want to come back because it's a job. They earn money. They're not going to ignore us. That is why the South African police and Home Affairs, correctional services, you name them all, they are working together. Sooner or later, you're going to have the army as well helping in clean sweeping our country of illegal foreigners. So I would advise you, if you're in South Africa and you know your illegal status and you have a business that you have no license for, start winding it up. Start winding it up. Start winding it up because when you are deported, you're gonna leave that shop all by itself. Things are gonna rot in there, and the people that you were selling drugs to, they're going to vandalize them, take your merchandises and eat them or sell them, thinking they are going to get drugs somewhere else. So I'm just advising you that the world is beginning to wake up. And y'all, they are vigilant when it comes to you guys, especially if you are carrying a South African passport. I want to share a story of somebody that I know who traveled to Dubai. Traveled to Dubai when he landed in Dubai, and this is not just, it was a layover where he was going to sleep over in Dubai and then proceed to uh, to proceed to proceed to Bali because they were going on a holiday. All right. So they were pulled. My friend and two other guys that he was with, they got pulled because they produced South African passports. Lucky for them, because the Dubai International has South Africans working for them to identify you guys. That's how they were able to enter into Dubai, spend the 24 hours inside the country before they flew out to Bali. So even you too, fellow South Africans, you too, if you are going to travel to the United Arab Emirates, if you are going to travel to Dubai or any other countries in Asia, do not be offended when you are pulled aside and your South Africanness is doubted. Don't worry, you can prove it that you are a South African. And those that are not South Africans, they will be caught out. Just like this guy. He was asked, where you from? And he says, there is my passport. And the guy who was interrogating him already knew that you are not South African. So there we go, fellow South Africans. But my brother, from green, white, and green. The world is onto you, super onto you. I even heard somewhere as well that now the systems that are being designed, they have you guys in mind so that you are unable to penetrate and corrupt the systems. Wow. So much for being a giant of Africa. Yo, my brothers, I don't know what to tell you. All I did was to whisper you, to give you a clue, an idea. I'm snitching. I'm snitching here. The world is onto you. South Africa is just beginning to clean you guys out. Peace Airline is going back home full. So let's see if you have your seat on it. And I'm sure you do, because we will not rest until all of y'all are gone and we reclaim our cities and towns, our streets, our security. Anyways, guys, do not leave this video without liking, sharing, commenting. And when you subscribe, make sure to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for the super thanks. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you for the growth and welcome everybody that is new to the channel. You are the best. Anyways, let's see each other in my next video. Goodbye.